with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I.
Bloody Screen Podcast, blah, 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 episode. I really don't know. Do you have any idea, Dustin?
Nah, I'm in the same boat.
Okay. You know what? I always find out anytime I'm putting up the show. I'm just like, oh, what up? Oh, it's episode, I think we're on like 40 now. I want to say 40, but I don't want to say, welcome to episode 40 when it's actually like 41 or 39 or whatever. I hate doing that. Anyways, yeah, I'm your host, Brandon, of course. That is Dustin over there in that right-hand corner. I hope people actually looked in the right-hand corner. The rest of our cast is, to my knowledge, Nick, he was out drinking last night, so he didn't feel like he wanted to, get up at 1 p.m. So, it's his own damn fault. Quick little thing, though. This week, it'll be up before this show is up. You might have seen me play some Assassin's Creed 4. I don't know if I'll be able to play the online or if it's going to be the single player. Don't really know that. But next week, my live playthrough will be Battlefield 4 online. See me kick some ass or get my ass kicked. I'm actually not half bad at Battlefield 4 there, Dustin.
Yeah. Oh, man. I want to play that shit.
It'll be at 2 o'clock. And Dustin, if you're, you can, sir.
All right. You'll probably see me on that then.
Yeah, it's like if you want to come over tomorrow, next Friday at 2 o'clock, because that's when we're doing the live stream. We might have a special guest, Dustin, doing his live stream with us.
What about this week?
This week is Assassin's Creed 4. It's immediately after the show, so that's when I'm doing it. Yet again, I'm going to try to keep it consistent Fridays at 2, just to make sure that, people are really like, oh yeah, it's 2 o'clock. What PS4 game is he playing? But yeah, Nicky G, no idea where he's at. Scotty, probably sleeping in until like 1, or maybe he's at work. I don't know. I hardly hear from Scott for the most part. Yeah, so it's just me and you there, Dustin. Think we could do it? You think we can hold down the fort?
Yeah, we'll make up for our lousy host.
We'll make up. Yeah, we have to have like Nick just be like, fuck it, I don't care. Then Nicky G is just like, well, I got some news. And, let's see. Scott, we gotta just have, peanut butter tits! There. We made up for all the hosts being
Excellent.
Yes. Alright, excellent. That's what I was hoping for. Anyways, let's continue on with what did we play this week? What'd you play this week there, Dustin?
I played quite a bit of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
On the 3DS.
Yep. And it is worth noting it is the same damn game as what's on the Wii U, except on the Wii U you have a online multiplayer. On the 3DS you only have local, which is kind of a bummer, but
doesn't the 3DS have the online capabilities?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's kind of a bummer that it doesn't have it.
Yeah, no kidding. So, like, I knew you were playing with one of our friends. How is the online with that? Like, is it better to play with people? Is that one of those games that's better to play with people?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be down to try it, but then again, that'd mean I have to buy a 3DS or, I wouldn't buy a Wii U for it, but, I don't know. I can't get into handhelds.
Yeah, honestly, this game's gonna keep me occupied for hundreds of hours, I can feel already.
Really? That's like your new, that was your Skyrim from 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Where you just sit there and you get that bit of drool coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I like getting addicted to games.
Oh,
like.
Yeah. Is that all you've been playing this week then?
Yeah, apart from, the good old League of Legends that I've been playing a shit ton as well.
Honestly, I never thought, it's kind of funny. Like, we had our two PC guys, the two guys on our little staff, I guess I could call it staff, that play PCs. Like, Nicky G is addicted to World of Warcraft, and you got your League of Legends. It's just funny. It's like, damn it. I almost, if I got a better PC than what I have now, what game would I get addicted to?
Dude, you can play League of Legends with a fucking potato of a computer.
I could play League of Legends. I don't want to play, honestly, I seen you play League of Legends. It didn't really do anything that captured me, I guess you could say. You know,
There's some serious depth to that game, man.
yeah, I'm not arguing it. I have never actually gotten my hands on it, but that's just me. Yeah. So me, I played quite a bit of games this week, there, Dustin, since our last show. I played and finished Bulletstorm. Have you played that?
No.
Oh, Bulletstorm is so much fun. It is basically, if you are a crazy sadistic motherfucker with a potty mouth, that is your game. It's a first-person shooter, one of the goriest gore-tastics made by People Can Fly. So much fun. Not a very long game, though, so honestly, I'd just say if you have a rental service, I'd rent it. Otherwise, you can find it for about $8. That's what I found it for, and I bought it, so, it's not an entirely expensive game. I also finished Killzone Shadowfall. Pretty fun game, pretty fun. My review is already up, so people check to the site to read the review. Not gonna get into it since I actually reviewed it. What else did I play this week? I've been playing some Dark Souls there, Dusty. Oh, yeah. So, did I tell you what I had to do in Dark Souls?
Yeah, you made a Wanderer, right? You said?
I started over again, actually. So originally I got about 10, 15 hours in with a character you and I made up, the fat dude.
Yeah.
Until me and Nick were both talking, we're like, yeah. And I asked him, I was like, wait, do you know if your weight has anything to do with like how your character is effective in the game? He's like, oh yeah, your weight definitely does. I'm like, shit, because I'm getting to the harder parts of the game. So I started over as a Wanderer. Then I found out, as his dodge is great, I don't like the way he attacks. He has a weak attack, and I didn't care for his attack, and I was getting fucked up. So then I started over again as a warrior, a medium-sized warrior, and that is much better, because he also has light armor, but his attacks are much stronger and more... Instead of trying to all fancy, because the Wanderer's kind of a fancy attack person, he is much more of a heavy swordsman, and it kind of, takes out enemies quicker, and that's kind of what you need in Dark Souls, is someone... it depends on your play style. See, I don't know. Are you a dodger or a blocker, Dustin?
Dodger usually. Yeah.
Then you would want to pick like a warrior or wanderer. I think we picked a knight, and the knight is way more for blocking because he's a heavy HP guy. But honestly, in Dark Souls, unless your timing is perfect, the blocking doesn't do shit.
Yeah, the better question is, are you going to beat it?
I'm gonna try my best. And see, my goal is to try to get as far as humanly possibly before the second one comes out in March. So I'm in for the long haul. So basically, that's the game I'm gonna be playing when I'm not playing games to review. So currently, I am not playing it because I'm playing another game to review. Which that game, folks, is Don't Starve. Have you played this?
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I played the demo and I watched a lot of this one guy playing it. It looks pretty cool, actually.
Oh yeah, the console for the PS4 release just came out, and I got it, and holy shit, is that addicting as fuck. I was playing it, I was like, oh yeah, it's, 25, I'll just play till 12:30, get all the notes up, get all the shit going on for the show. I was like 12:50. Like when till my character dies. It is so in depth, because they don't tell you shit in that game, Dustin. You just drop the fuck in, they're just like, oh, survive. And I'm learning how to craft stuff. I still don't know how to make a spear. I'm trying to find rope. I don't know where the hell to find rope. And then I accidentally somehow found this stone where if you rebuild it, apparently when you die you just come back to life on that stone. And then I had weird demon dogs chasing me for the longest time until I actually outmaneuvered them, which I was pretty proud of myself. I don't know. How long was your demo?
Couple hours.
Well, how many days did it let you do? Let's put it that way.
Like 4 or 5 at least, I guess.
Did you just die at those days, or did you just stop?
Yeah, you just stopped after a certain point.
Yeah, I made it to day 6, and I was like, yeah, I was on day 7, so I made it through 6 total days. And kind of the way I'm seeing the game, you think that, if you don't just wander and you just kind of stay put in the safer area they search you out in, that you just oh yeah, I'll just cut down the trees, capture some rabbits for food, and just live here peacefully. But then your character starts losing his mind, and that's where the game starts getting weird. And I can't. I'm ready to play some more of that. Actually, it is a lot of fun. I will do a live playthrough of that soon. No idea when, because I have a bunch more AAA games going on than this little indie game. Maybe if I'm bored one day, I'll just like put up in the morning, being like, all right, tomorrow I'm just going to do this. I don't know. Just give you guys just check it out. I mean, granted, you guys could just check it out anyways, but I want you to stay with us. You know, and plus you want to get the colorful Brandon commentary of him talking shit during Call of Duty. So yeah, that was my last week's video there, Dustin, was me talking shit on Call of Duty. I wasn't very effective because I suck ass at Call of Duty, but, anyways, that was actually our most viewed one too. Anyways, let's continue with since the top 5 still is the same, we're doing again with top 5 pre-orders. Woo! Alright, Dustin, you ready to know what number 5 is? You ready?
Yes.
It is a game that's actually different. So that's the only reason why we're doing the pre-orders, because it's different, because this is for January 4th, 2014. Infamous Second Son. Woo! This is a game that we will be getting a chance to check out, because I'm actually going to buy it, so, yeah. It has 11 weeks till launch. This, its total pre-orders is 166,000. Holy shit, that's a lot of people want that game. I don't even pre-order games, Dustin. That's what I love about this day and age. Like I said, that's one of the games I'm going to be buying. Actually, I'm going to probably buy most of the games on this list. It's rather funny, though, because, in today's day and age, you could just walk inside a GameStop or whatnot, just like, yeah, I want Infamous. And they just hand it. You don't need a pre-order. I don't understand why people pre-order these games. I'm just like, there's no shortage in them. They just, you can find Call of Duty. I mean, even with, the, Grand Theft Auto, how popular that game was, you can still find it in the store anywhere. It wasn't like a console where they somehow, they didn't make as many. I guess it's, it's way cheaper just to make a disc than it is a whole console, so. Anyways, I don't know. Are you excited for Infamous? I don't think you'll have a PS4 by then, so.
Yeah, I'm not so much. I mean, I haven't even really played any of them, so.
Well, that's kind of cool. That's the same with me. I haven't really played any of them either, so. I played the first one, and the first one was okay, but the second one's, or the third one, I guess this would be, is basically kind of like a side story from what I'm seeing, and they really not call, it's not called Infamous 2, and I don't know. A little off top, or not off topic, but, something that kind of bugs me about the game industry, because they're the worst ones in doing this. They get to the point where they just stop making just 1, 2, 3, 4, and they just get to the point where some games just start doing like, Second Son, or, whatnot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It kind of drives me nuts, I'm just like, well, is this a sequel? Is this a prequel? What the fuck is this? I like to have my numbers there so I can identify if this is, a part of the, continuation of the story or if this is just some off-brand shit, Yeah,
I think they just do that for marketing reasons.
I think so too. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, take Assassin's Creed, they made some
oh yeah. The Brotherhood.
Off the story.
Yeah, they had Brotherhood and Revelations, which were still part of the main story arc. But, you can't just play Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, and understand the full, story without playing those other two. And then, and then you got, 4 where it has to have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I was like, why don't you just call it Assassin's Creed 4? By the cover I could tell it's a pirate. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. But anyways, number 4, no surprise, just showing how Bungie is kicking ass and taking names. Destiny for the Xbox One. No idea when it's coming out, but yeah, it so far has 176,000 pre-orders.
Damn. Yeah, that game I'm excited for.
Really, Destiny? Though. You're like the first person to heard Destiny that you're excited for.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey, by all means, I'd say be excited for it because, I don't know. I'm kind of meh about it right now, but we'll see. My attitude may change later this year when we actually get our hands on it. I might be like, oh my god, Destiny is so fucking amazing, and I'm like, yeah! I've only saw the E3 footage of this game. Did you see the E3 footage?
No, I don't think so. Maybe
It
briefly.
sort of looked like Halo meets Borderlands. That's kind of what I can tell you.
Yeah.
Number 3, no surprise, Watch Dogs for the PS4. This is the game I'm excited for. It too also has a
Yeah, I remember doing the trailer talk for this a while back.
You know, I
Yeah.
almost want. I don't know. That'd be up to you guys if we redo the trailer talks again, because I kind of like doing the trailer talks, but it's kind of funny when I play some of the games we did do trailer talks for, like Knack and stuff and Killzone. You and me did an assload of trailer talks last year. I tell you what, we did like everything the PS4 talked about. They're like, yep, we're talking about this too. Watch Dogs. I'm excited for this game. I was so pissed off when they pushed it back. I think it's going to come out in the summer. VG Charts doesn't really know when it's coming out, so they just kind of have NA next to it.
I think it's good they pushed it back though, because they really emphasize with that, like how it's supposed to be like a living, breathing world. Like everything you do affects the other things. I mean,
as you know what, one of my favorite games of the year last year, number one. Well, I wouldn't say one of my favorite games last year was BioShock Infinite. And that game was pushed back so many times, and when it came out, it was well worth the wait. So maybe this game might be it. It might be so well worth the wait that I'm just like, yes, about time. Number 2 is Titanfall for the Xbox One. I'm not entirely excited for this game. I mean, I get to play it on the 360. Woo. Maybe that's why I'm not excited for it. It has about 10 weeks till its launch, so yay. It has 188,000 pre-orders. Have you seen anything about Titanfall? Would you be excited for that?
I don't really care too much about this. I haven't heard much about it though. I mean, it might end up being a pretty good game, but
I heard one thing that got me really just unexcited about it. Little thing that I saw in a news story saying that, it's gonna be only 6v6. It's, the entire game's based off the multiplayer, basically, and it can only support 12 people. So I'm like, really? That's, you got Battlefield that could support like, I think 60 people or something like that, because you have or 40 people online, because you get about 20 on each side, and you can't even, you got fucking 12? Fuck you.
hey, it's about quality, not quantity, man.
One thing I love about when I'm playing, honestly, when I'm playing Battlefield 4, I'm tempted to keep that game there, Dustin, because it's a gameplay game. I dig the multiplayer so much that I'm tempted just to keep it, because, you get so many people on a map at once, it just becomes so much more, it becomes hectic, it becomes like this war zone, and I like more in my first person shooters to make me feel like I'm in war, it's hectic, there's explosions everywhere, guys are dying next to you, just like, oh fuck! I love that. I'm so sick of this, small group, bullshit. I fucking hate that. I'm getting tired of Spec Ops shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And number 1, we already talked about it, but it's Destiny for the PS4. Clearly, it has 207,000 units pre-ordered right now, so it's, Destiny's doing pretty fucking well for itself. That's going to be one of those games, not 100%, depending on what comes out next to it. I might buy it, might not. I don't really know. Otherwise, we already kind of talked about Destiny. But, that is our top 5 pre-orders. You pre-order games still, Dustin?
Nope.
Me neither. Oh, yeah. I like I said, I don't understand it. I just buy it when it comes out. I guess I technically pre-order it with, if I buy it off Amazon, I'll technically push the pre-order just so I get it the day of, Because otherwise you don't get it the day of, you get it like two days after, but that's about the only time I technically pre-order. Alright, you ready to get in some news? Because I'm ready for some fucking news.
Let's news the shit.
We're gonna news the shit out of you guys. Guys, get your shirts off. Let's news the crap all over them. Yeah.
Alright, I'm ready. Shirts off.
Time to news. Ugh! Alright. So, kind of within my Bulletstorm talk, well, the creators are People Can Fly. They're making a new game called Get Even. Get Even, from what they say, it's a first-person shooter that mixes single and multiplayer elements to create an intense thriller experience with elements of horror exploration thrown in. The story follows memories of a protagonist, but The players choose what route those memories take. So increase the tension. Farm 51 will allow other players to join in the single-player missions as enemies. That sounds pretty interesting. I don't know about you there, Dustin.
Yeah, sounds pretty unique, man. Like, I think they could do this. They did this right.
Oh yeah,
it would be a hell of a lot of fun.
I like the fact that it kind of, they kind of do that like Left 4 Dead thing with it. You know what I mean? Where Left 4 Dead, you actually could, the multiplayer is just it's just a single player with people playing the zombies instead of, the computer. So it is kind of interesting to see how they're like, the fact that you can pick memories and like in any order, so you could actually, that's just one that leads like me to just be like, put it down story, I guess you could say. And then the fact that if you have, I'm guessing you could do like that, you can either allow them or not allow them. So I'm picturing they will have like, cause I don't figure this game's gonna pull the Dark Souls thing where if you just are online, people can join, you don't get a choice in matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna do more of the like, maybe something like Borderlands thing where if you have your online turned on saying like, yes, anybody can join my game. I figure how this game's gonna be. But, supposedly this is gonna be like really a horror game, so I'm kind of excited for more, horror themed games, The only one I can really think of for the last generation was Silent Hill and Dead Space. I don't know of any others.
Yeah, going to PC gaming, Amnesia was a really
that was a big one,
really popular horror game.
No, even that fucking Slender Man was fucking popular as shit.
Yeah. I think I want to get Amnesia because it's 50% off right now on Steam.
Ooh. Well, which one is the Amnesia or Amnesia War for Pigs or whatever?
War of Pigs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some gameplay of both of them actually. I don't know. It's because Amnesia does that thing in horror games I hate where, it's like, oh yeah, you don't get to actually fight the monsters. You just gotta look at them. I don't know. Don't look at them, just hide. Hide like a little girl. And I'm just like, meh, I don't know. So yeah, that Bulletstorm, you know what that makes me hope for? Is that these fuckers, these guys make it violent as shit. They do have a trailer, and I kind of kick myself in the butt for not watching the trailer before the show, but that's my fault, not your guys'. So check out the trailer. So, Dustin.
Yeah.
So what if I would tell you, you could do, say, Netflix Instant, but with video games?
Ooh. That would, man. You just almost give me like a game-gasm right there.
Yeah, you feel like my pants are a little bit wet.
Holy
squishy.
shit.
Yeah, PlayStation, they're into that now. PlayStation Now. Basically, it's going to be an online streaming service where you could play PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and you could stream Vita games with your remote play all through the internet. They're really kind of shady on how it's going to work, as in, like, if it's going to be a monthly subscription, or if it's going to be part of the PlayStation Plus, or if it's just going to be, you got a PlayStation, here's the games we put on there. No idea what's going on with that. They're doing an open beta a closed beta right now, and they're also doing it's going to be released in the summer from what they're shooting for. Now, there are some, people, some naysayers, I wouldn't say naysayers, but some skeptics out there, but they're driving some good points. They're saying, well, there are a few minor issues with, that, with...
Yeah, you have a ping, so there's a latency between the virtual, or the machine that it's actually running on, because you're just getting streamed that.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's probably the biggest issue.
That's the biggest one they're concerned with, is like, say if you press the shoot button, like say if you're playing like, Call of Duty or whatever. I don't know why I always could. Alright, let me pick a different game. I'm tired of always going to Call of Duty as my default, just random example game. Say if you're playing, Killzone 3 on the PlayStation, on the PlayStation thing, and you press the shoot button trying to kill an enemy, and it has a little bit of lag. You press the button, and then it goes, type of thing.
Yeah.
That could be a problem. And then they're also kind of talking about Sony says you could have a pretty shitty internet connection because the minimum speed required is 5 megabytes, which that's not entirely great. So, I mean, you could have as long as you have some form of high speed, you're fine, according to what they're touting. So, I hope they're right, because nothing would annoy anybody more when you're playing a single player game and you're starting to get lag. Believe me, you and I both played that fucking Two Worlds game where I'm playing a goddamn single player game and still get fucking lag. Doesn't make any, it drives me up the damn wall, Dustin. If I'm playing multiplayer, at least I can be like, oh, some asshole's shitty internet connection. But if I'm by myself, ooh, you better run crystal fucking clear.
Yeah. Especially, when you're making software for something you know what the hardware is, like, there's no reason to fucking have it lag.
I know. That's actually one of the reasons why I keep with consoles too, is because, I don't have to update they do that for me. If the console needs to update, they do it for me. I don't need to oh, well, the graphics card needs to be, no, that's not okay. So that's actually kind of one of the main reasons why I stay away from PC gaming. I don't like updating shit. Anyways, so we got that going on. I'm excited for that. Summer, that means, oh god, dude. If I gotta play PS1, PS2, and PS3 games, oh god, dude. I never have to leave. I never have to go anywhere besides, my house. Oh, I don't even, the only thing I need to do is get PS4 games and then I'm good. I could start turning into a junkie if they keep this up. I don't know. So we got that going on. I'm excited for that. That's one of when I saw that announcement there, Dustin, I was just like, God damn it, Sony. You already have the fans. You already got people, after your E3, people were like, yeah, Sony. I mean, you already had rabid fucking people. And now you're saying oh, by the way, we're gonna stream games for you now. So that way our platform is backwards compatible without us fucking with the hardware. And then you're like, stop making it better!
And they say never. We will consume you. Oh, we are Sony.
Which just makes me think the next console generation is going to be Microsoft that's the hero. Because you kind of notice this trend that's been going on the last...
I want Nintendo to be the hero.
Well, the PS2 Xbox generation, it was PS2 that was winning. PS2 kicked the shit out of all of them. They're like, yeah, we're the champions, bitch! Xbox 360, PS3 era technically is the Wii, but out of the two, Xbox 360 was much more of a platform that everyone kind of rallied to. Because PS3 was expensive as fuck. Now it's PS4. So I'm just...
you don't know the future of Xbox One.
I don't. But, I honestly, I don't know anything that's going on with Xbox One. I haven't seen anything new going on with them besides, since their release, it's just kind of been like, yep, we're here.
You can pretty much guarantee that whatever Sony does, they will do.
Yeah, it is kind of true. Honestly, as long as you own one of the consoles, you're going to be able to play most of the games. I want to say about 95% of the games you're going to get it.
Yes, and as a gamer, you should care about the games.
You do. Honestly, I'm not a Sony whore, Dustin. Don't you get me wrong.
I was not talking to you. I'm just talking.
I know.
Generally.
Well, people who are I understand people who get I know a lot of people who go out and they buy, I know a few people that are buying the Xbox One just because they want to play Halo. And I'm like, that's fine. Halo doesn't do anything for me. Honestly, I would have bought the Xbox One if The Witcher 3 was exclusive to the Xbox One. That was my game. So that's my game of oh no, I need to play this one because I love this second one so much. What game would be your deciding factor there, Dustin?
I don't know. I wouldn't pick one console over the other just for a specific game that's out right now. That is I don't know. There might be it's hard to say though because it's got to be a new game, and I don't have access to play new games unless I buy the console. So,
the good thing for you right now, Dustin.
Yeah.
For you and you're gonna only get to miss out on a few games, at least so far the first quarter I'm seeing of the games. Because, you're gonna miss out on Infamous, you're gonna miss out on Destiny.
Well, I can still buy them. It's not like they're gonna go away.
Well, no, I'm just saying you're gonna miss them out, release.
Yeah.
So for people who maybe can't afford it, but you still want to get the new games, Yeah, you're gonna miss out on only a couple of them. You're really not missing out on much because most of the games that are coming out this first quarter at least, because that's all I can look at, is a bunch of stuff for the old generation. It's a bunch of PS3, Xbox 360 games. So honestly, no one's missing much.
And I mean, the number of exclusives, it's not very large, is it? Like
for either one.
Either one, yeah.
Sony has Killzone, Infamous, and Knack. And so far, Microsoft has Dead Rising 3, Rise, and Forza. I mean, both of them have 3.
Yeah.
And Xbox has Titanfall too. So, they're not really that big, the exclusives aren't big enough for me. I want to play Rise, but not enough to spend $500 for Rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so for me, I kind of stand in the position where it doesn't really matter which console I get. I'm just leaning towards the PS4 because it's $100 cheaper. We'll see what the prices are in a couple months, but they're probably not going to change.
They're not going to change. Honestly, though, Dustin, if say the Microsoft was $300, I would have bought the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Just because, I can't afford to buy consoles like that. But, anyways. Last little bit of news I got here for us is Telltale. They're making another game, or they're in talks about making another game.
All right.
Franchise they're going to be kind of trying to get their dick into?
I'm going to take just a wild ass guess and say Game of Thrones.
No, that's already been rumored. I really don't know what's going on with this, but they had the success of Walking Dead. They're doing the Wolf Among Us. Those are both, they're both out there. But what would you say if they made a 007 James Bond?
Damn.
Yeah. So basically, they, I don't know what your thoughts on that, because so far Activision's had the James Bond license, and they've been kind of just doing first-person shooters. That's all they kind of been doing with them. They just, you just go in there, you kind of relive the acts of the movies.
They did the stealth. It was more stealth than first-person shooter, but yeah, it was first-person.
Which one did you play?
I played GoldenEye and one other one I can't remember the title of, but I didn't like it that much. GoldenEye is pretty much my biggest experience with that.
GoldenEye is everyone's favorite. And the remake of GoldenEye sucked ass, by the way. I don't know if you ever played it, but the remake was shit. Anyways, GoldenEye, yeah, that one was more, but I'm talking more based, the 007, actually, the remake of GoldenEye was more of a first-person shooter. The 007 Legends was more of a first-person shooter. Blood, whatever, I forget what it's called. It was one with blood in the name. That was a third-person shooter, which actually was pretty good. I have to say that one was probably the best of the Activision ones. Activision's made quite a few of them. But they've all been kind of the best one was just okay. The rest of them were kind of shit. A quote from one of the guys is, "I'm a giant James Bond fan. I'm always frustrated by the games because they make him a mass murderer." He also mentioned that they're going to be taking more inspiration from the books. The films make him less of a mass murderer, and that's not much. There's not that much killing in the books. More spying and more spying basically. And this is just kind of one of the developers talking right now. There's no confirmation. There's no saying that this is actually going to happen. But would you want this to happen, Dustin? Would you want Telltale to make make this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, most of their games end up running a little more affordable, so.
Well, their games are affordable. If you don't even get the day one, cause I bought Walking Dead Season 2 for $15 for the entire game. And I haven't even started playing it cause with how long they're taking to put out The Wolf Among Us Episode 2, I have to replay the first episode to even remember what's going on. So I'm not even going to touch it. I just bought it because it was a discount. So honestly, their games run around $20-$25 depending how much they're wanting to charge at the time. So I say yes, because their games are cheaper and they're still full-fledged, they're going about 10-hour games because each episode's 2 hours, about 5 episodes. So yeah, they're about 10-hour games and I say that's good. My only thing is I don't want them to take over every franchise. If they actually do get the Game of Thrones thing, I don't want them to get the 007 one. You know, honestly, I want other developers to get these, you know, things.
Yeah.
As much as I like Telltale games, I don't want every game to be an adventure game. I hate to say it. I like myself some adventure games, but not every game needs to be an adventure. But it will be interesting. I honestly, over James Bond though, I would like them to take a Sherlock Holmes. Because Sherlock Holmes is way more like adventure-y than, maybe I never read the books, and this guy's a big fan of the books, so maybe the books are more about him spying and shit. But that seems like to me more of a stealth game than adventure. I mean, then again, no one's saying that Telltale is going to limit themselves to just adventure games. I don't know.
Yeah, I think both like James Bond and say Sherlock Holmes, would it be a better format if you had full control over your character rather than like the Walking Dead format where you complete every objective just by pressing like where you need to go rather than like I'd rather have control over my character because then you have to run around the area and like find the key to the puzzle rather than just see where the dot is and press it, you know.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think Sherlock Holmes could be done in the adventure game style, and it wouldn't hurt the franchise. Like, wouldn't hurt at all. Like, it wouldn't be any different because it's not like Sherlock Holmes does know how to fight and stuff. But from my knowledge, and like I said, I'm not calling myself an expert on Sherlock Holmes, but he's not really a super spy. You know, he's just a detective, and that's perfect for adventure games. Is a detective. That's kind of what The Wolf Among Us is a detective story.
I think they would need to develop the characters a lot more, just like they did in The Walking Dead. I mean,
oh yeah. No, well, they're great with characterization. That's one thing they got nailed to the fucking wall. They got their gameplay. Actually, you haven't played The Wolf Among Us, right?
No.
Wolf Among Us has much better gameplay. The way they do it, it is better and more precise than Walking Dead. So they are improving their adventure style.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm really satisfied with how they're going, how they started as a developer. I mean,
first game I remember them doing, Dustin, is Back to the Future. Out of all games, I could get.
Okay, well, I guess my first experience with them is Walking Dead. So.
Oh yeah, no, because that was a PlayStation exclusive with them.
Okay.
Was the Back to the Future. They also did a Jurassic Park game. Wasn't as good. They kind of dropped them. That's probably their black sheep of their development was the Jurassic Park game. Because it was kind of shitty. I'm not going to lie. I think that was them. I'm not 100%. I want to say it was them. But anyways, let's get we got plenty of time for some questions. You ready for some questions there, Dustin?
Ask away.
Or I don't want to call them questions because they might just be comments. I have to pull them up though. Give me a second. Alright, let's see where I can find. Alright, there we go. Hey guys, this Jason here. I have a question. Who's the greatest Take two. Who's the greatest villain in video games in your opinion? I'd say the Prophet in Halo. He uses religion to commit genocide. I don't know, Dustin. Who's your favorite villain out of all the games you've played?
Shit, man. That's, it's kind of a hard question. I instantly, for some reason, Bowser is up there. I don't want to say he's the greatest, but I mean, he's just a big fat fucker who don't really know shit, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna grab Peach from your ass, just 'cause I can, bitch. There's just a certain elegance to Bowser, but he's not the greatest, no, oh, damn.
I know it's a hell of a spot just to be put on. It's just like, by the way, who's your favorite villain?
In terms of, the Elder Scrolls universe, granted it's not one villain, but the whole the Daedra and the whole
the Demon King,
the dark side, the dark side of the Elder Scrolls universe. Those characters are pretty beastly, mean and all that.
Well, honestly, you played through the story in Skyrim, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd say the evil dragon was pretty. He wasn't the most nuanced character, but he was there, you know, he was a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that always is a plus in my, you know, when I'm playing my fantasy games, when the main villain is a dragon, you know, Dragon Age, Witcher, Skyrim, you know, those games where the main villain's a fucking dragon, I'm like, hell to the yes. Oh shit. You know, honestly, I'm thinking about it. I've been thinking. And one of the villains that, I have a few villains that come to mind. And I'm not ranking them any higher than the other, but the Reapers from Mass Effect, those things are, you know, they're giant, you know, I mean, granted, in Mass Effect 3, when you find out what the hell they actually are, you kind of get disappointed, but, like, when you're, you know, those things are pretty effective for giant robot creatures, you know, they're pretty badass. But, more so in Mass Effect was what's his face? Elusive Man, who is Martin Sheen, fun fact. He's an evil, you know, he's like basically, he's a human supremacist that, you know, he, you know, helps shepherd out from point to point, but then becomes the main villain, and he, you know, he has a big part of the story. He was a pretty strong villain, because you knew he was evil the whole fucking time, and you're helping him. You're like, oh, why the fuck am I helping this asshole? Saren, also from Mass Effect, he was a pretty good one, because he was more of a menacing, because, you know, Elusive Man is more of that, you know, evil, you know, the evil scientist guy, Dustin, you know what I'm talking about, where he's just like, you know, he's in the background making all the decisions, but he can't take you toe to toe. While Saren was more of that guy to take you toe to toe. I like both those villains. Their Mass Effect villains are pretty well. Sticking with the BioWare route right now, I have to say, actually, it's gonna be an odd answer, but if you choose the evil ending in, Knights of the Old Republic, that's my favorite villain right there, is me. I'm my favorite villain there, Dustin.
Hell yeah. Actually, I'm a big fan of, General Rom from Gears.
Oh, Rom. You know, when you get to play Rom, that was pretty good too. But if you, also Far Cry 3, Voss. Amazing villain. Psychotic, you know, a psychotic pirate. You know, the dude is fucking crazy, but they do it so well, you know, it's one of those things. Trying to think of any other villains I could think. Here's a good one, Dustin. Because he's been in so many games, he's been killed and brought back to life. Dracula from the Castlevania series. Yeah,
that's up there, man, actually.
Yeah, that dude has gone, you know, he has been fighting an entire family for, you know, for generations. Literally. Talk about you know, and then he
never fully dies, so hell yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I'm excited for the new, Lords of Shadow, where you get to play as Dracula. That's who you know, you're the main character as Dracula. I'm excited for that. I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah, nothing else comes to mind though. I'm sure there's a lot of good ones we're missing, but.
Oh yeah, we're missing. Oh, like GLaDOS, Portal 2, and Portal. She's pretty good. You know, a lot of people count her as their favorite. I don't count her as the favorite. I mean, she's a good character and all that as a villain, but she's not, you know, to me, she's not that menacing. You know, she just talks a lot of trash. That's what she is. She's a big trash talker. She doesn't actually do anything, though. You know, I don't know. I'm probably gonna make a lot of friends with that comment saying, like, yeah, she just talks all this shit. Man, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. So, if you guys think of any, by all means, anybody listening to this, let us know if we forgot one, or maybe you want to elaborate on one of ours. I'd love to know. The other one is, no. Alright. I bet this week you guys record. So, this is from Slapnut, of course. So, Slapnut69 here, and he finds out who eats the worst out of all of you. My bet is Brandon. He seems like an unhealthy fucker. Oh god. I think we all eat pretty shitty. I really don't know how Nikki G eats, because the dude never eats around anybody. Yeah.
I usually eat fruits and vegetables every day, so.
Do you? You're pretty healthy.
My bad, the thing, I'm kind of addicted to sugar. I probably eat sugar every day, like high fructose corn syrup type sugars, or just plain old sugar, and there tends to be a decent amount of fat in my diet, so. I'm healthier than the average American, though. I'm pretty positive of that. So
I can't speak for anybody but myself, but I'd have to say I am the average American. I eat pretty fucking shitty. I kind of wish I kind of want to save this question for when we get bigger, when we have more of our guys here. But as of right now, I love hamburgers. That's like my number one go-to food. If you get like Five Guys, they have the best hamburger in all of our Denver metropolitan area. I fucking love them. I can't get enough of their burgers. Oh my god, dude! And their burgers aren't anything special, folks. I mean, if you have a Five Guys near you, you know what I'm talking about. All they are is a patty, with 2 patties. Actually, it depends what you get. Patty, double patty, doesn't matter. Patty, cheese, bacon, and vegetables. I mean, it's nothing special. They're not doing anything amazing to the burger. They just make one hell of a good burger. It's messy as fuck, though. I have to give you that. Oh man, dude.
Once you go, actually, I've probably gone to Five Guys more than you. I've gone at least like 15 times.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I've only gone like 5.
Eventually, you'll master the art of eating it, and you won't spill or anything. Yeah, hell.
I just have to grab napkins because it gets all over my hands, all the mayo and ketchup and stuff. Which you could customize your own burger too. I kind of just could take your route. To my knowledge, you do the same thing I do, where you just like everything, just fuck it, everything on it.
Yeah, I put all the standard ones, and then I also add green peppers.
Oh, you add green peppers?
That's good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time they put mushrooms and onions on my burger, and I'm like, that works too. Mushroom, onions, lettuce, tomato. You get everything, and then they give you an ass load of fries. Oh god. I mean, I got a medium fry, and I see what they do. They put it in a cup, and then they take a little tray of extra and throw them on top. I'm just like, holy shit, fuckers.
Yeah, that's one place. Like, if you go in there alone, and you ask for a large fry, they'll be like, yo, you know how many fries that is?
Did you actually do that to them? Did they say that to you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it alone. I think, like, I had 2 people with me, and we wanted to get, like, I don't know what it was, but whatever they were saying was like, this is a shitload of fries.
It's like they just take the basket that they fried them in, they just pour it in there. They're like, there's your large fat fuck. I want to go in there and just really try to fuck with them. Like, I want a triple bacon cheeseburger and see if they'd sell me a triple bacon. I don't know. Honestly, their fries are good. They're not amazing to me. They're just good. But their hamburgers, that's, honestly, I could go in there and just get 2 hamburgers, and that would be, I'd be happy with that. Honestly, I'd be full as fuck, and, that'd be like $16 right there, but it'd be worth it.
Yeah, and for all we know, Scott eats potato chips and soda for...
Well, I know he does go out to eat. I know that. I know he's not the healthiest fucker. Nick goes out to eat. He only eats vegetables, or I should say fruits, when he's broke. So basically it's a money issue with him, because it is cheaper to buy 2 apples than it would be to buy 2 cheeseburgers. So it's up to you people. And it's actually kind of funny. People always say, now I understand, this is way off video games, but you asked it, so now we're going to be talking about food for a little bit. People always say how it's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to not eat healthy. And now now that I work within a, produce department, it's not expensive at all to buy fruits and vegetables. It's actually pretty fucking cheap.
Yeah, I don't know, there's a few, like, ways to look at it though. Like, I feel like being raised as an American, you have tastes for many kinds of food. And, like, if you go to the supermarket and buy only fresh foods, like, you don't buy anything in a, like, package. Well, I guess you can get some things in packages, but, like,
if
primarily you
organic.
Huh?
If you're saying if you stick with organic or just...
No, just fresh foods, like vegetables and fruits that have recently come out the ground. They don't have any preservatives. They're gonna spoil more quickly. And most people like to buy a fair variety, and then there's a higher chance that any of that will go bad. Whereas if you buy a bunch of canned food, you can eat the entire purchase you made, like, in the next 2 years. You don't have to worry about...
Very true.
Yeah, so you have to go to the supermarket every, like, week or 2. Whereas,
most people do that anyways, though, Dustin,
Yeah, well...
I'm just saying, it's not that expensive, because honestly, if you go to Sprouts, which is, I don't know, depending where you live, you have a Sprouts or not. They're really pretty cheap on their produce and stuff, and they're more healthier than say Walmart is. And then meat, that's where you always get pricey. I think that's always funny how meat is the more expensive of the food families. From either, whether it's deli meat or if it's butchered meat, it's gonna cost you some. But oh man, the taste of death is so good.
Yeah, I mean, when at school, I buy all my food, just for myself, pretty much, and that's pretty much all I eat. I barely go out to eat during the school year, and I spend $50 a month, so yeah, I keep it really cheap, and I have a lot of healthier options.
Yeah, during the summer, I tend to eat at home more than I would be, during the winter. Because I can't cook worth a fuck. I can't, on the stove, I can make pasta, and that's about all I can do.
Dude, cooking is easy.
I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not very good at it, but I could grill like a motherfucker, because grilling is easy to me. Grilling is just easy as fuck. So during the summer, I buy, I go to King Soopers, I buy some steaks, I buy some hamburgers, I make myself steaks, hamburger. I eat at home way more, and it's way cheaper, and it's delicious. So it really depends. I know we really got off a topic with food, but now you gotta get to know us a little bit better. Dustin?
Yeah, it's hard to put our finger on who exactly is the most unhealthy, but
I don't know. I'll lay on the landmine, just say it's me. I'm probably the most unhealthy because, especially for a while there, I've gotten way better, but for for the last 2 years, I've been eating really shitty, Dustin. I've been avoiding fruits and that. I'm like, fry it, yeah. And then the last few months ago, I've just been like, you know what, I need to eat healthier because I have been putting on a little bit of weight. That's because you don't eat healthy, So, yeah. But anyways, that's beside the point. That is it. I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about there, Dustin, before we got 9 minutes left?
I ain't got shit, yo.
You ain't got shit, yo. So that's it, everybody. So we're gonna exit this bitch. Since we gotta talk like, motherfuckers. So, you know what you gotta do for me? If you guys wanna, subscribe or maybe go to our Facebook page. Yeah, I was getting that back going again. So you go to our Facebook page, you see all the updates and shit, then you don't have to subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't forget to see our website, bloodyscreenpod.com. Also, motherfuckers, don't fucking forget to, let us know what you think. Submit our questions. Submit stuff you want us to talk about. Submit comments. Doesn't fucking matter. You go email us at bloodyscreenpodcast@gmail.com. You at our website, you just click on that little mail thing, and that's right there. Guess what, motherfuckers? It's right there. It takes us right to your mail. Or if you're too fucking good for that, you can just put it in the comments section. Now, I'm gonna stop doing this. Just real quick with the YouTube comments. I will not comment back on YouTube anymore. Sorry, folks. Won't do it. Because they want me to join their Google Plus thing if they want me to comment. And in order for me to put up the videos, I cannot be part of Google Plus. So it's this kind of horrible, intertwined bullshit. So I just say, fuck you guys for even doing that. So I answer the comments on this show. I repeat again. I will answer the comments on this show, or you go to our forums on the website, and I can answer them in person. If it's something you just don't want us to have to talk about, or you don't want to have to tune into the show, you just want to talk, you just want to mention something, I'm just letting you know I will not comment back on YouTube. Dustin might, not me. So, heads up there. That is it, everybody. Thank you. Good night. I was getting there too. I was like, fucking me. I was talking about grilling burgers and talking